Okay, so I'm pretty sure this is a find out season post, but you guys go ahead and weigh in. This was posted in the Am I the A-hole subreddit. She says, Am I the a-hole for being disgusted and just saying okay when my fiance broke up with me? She says, So I don't know, man. So she's 28, Alex is 34. She says, I had been with my fiance since 2020. We met at a friend's party, hit it off, and had been together ever since. He finished his doctorate in economics just last year. Since then, he's been working at the university. I have my master's in media science and decided to start working instead of going for a PhD. Okay, so the problem is that Alex broke up with me last Monday. It was literally so surreal and honestly just weird. For the past few months, he's been acting strange. He was making demands and then dropping them immediately. A few examples. He told me we were going to paint our walls back from dark green to white. When I asked why, he just said, For F's sake, forget it, and never brought it up again, even when I asked. Another time when he came home and got mad because I was sitting on the couch with my head covered in a blanket. I had cramps. He was upset because I was just sitting there watching Netflix. Mind you, the house was spotless. When I tried to talk about it, he said, Forget it. It's not a big deal. This kind of thing became common. Every time I tried to communicate, tried to figure out what was going on, whether it was something I did, or maybe he was just stressed at work, he would just say, Everything is fine. But he was clearly seething with rage. I didn't even have to do anything. He would just find something to complain about: the apartment, clothes, me, work, etc. So I gave him space, which apparently was also wrong. I told him I was going to help my parents with repairs for a few days. And somehow that was also wrong because he wanted to renovate the apartment too. Then on Monday, I got a text saying we need to talk. I knew it was coming, and after the last few months, I had made peace with it. When I came home, he was sitting on the couch. He didn't even wait for me to take off my jacket before saying, I want to break up. Then the verbal diarrhea started. He told me he resented me first because I didn't pursue my academic career further, even though I was capable, and he didn't want to upset me at the time. Then, when I started making more money, since he didn't make as much money as a PhD student, he felt like I should have the last word financially, and he hated it. Mind you, I never said anything like, It's my money, so I have the final say. That's a rule he imposed on himself, and he hated it. He said he hated our paint scheme, the couch, and even our effing crock pot. The crock pot part really got me. Like the crock pot, maybe he wanted an air fryer instead. I don't know what that crock pot did. All right. Then he told me he rejected a better PhD program to stay here because I had already started my job. And by the time he got the acceptance letters, only he never told me he even applied overseas. He said a few months ago, he even checked in with a friend who's in that program, saw how they were thriving, and decided I ruined his life. He said I had too much control over his life and that he hated the idea that I could just decide not to pay for things and F him over. I honestly don't even know what that means. He also said he hated that all his friends loved me and didn't let him vent about me. And then he said again, I'm done. I was floored. I had already made peace with the idea that we were ending, and it hurt. But after that rant, I was just disgusted. I looked at him probably with a disgusted expression and said, Okay. He lost it. He said this is exactly what he meant, that it was horrible. We had been together for 4 years, and all I had to say was okay to our breakup. I just asked if he wanted to stay here while he figured it out. While he figured out where to go. He said, typical. Of course, you're holding the apartment over me, and started ranting again. So I just left. I told my parents. They're also confused. My dad suggested I reach out to our landlord and explain the situation to see what options I have. I can keep paying the rent no problem myself. He covered the utilities and some subscriptions. Just to reiterate, I never had a problem with this. I saw that he was chasing his dream, and that was more important to me than the 50-50 financial split. I make good money, and I'm happy at my job. I never saw it as slaving away. I always had the mentality that my money was our money because we were building a life together. Of course, I had my own savings and fund money, but I honestly never cared. As long as I felt he was working towards something and he wasn't taking advantage of me, I was fine with it. More than fine. Alex is still mad. He's going between texting me like a robot about the logistics of the split to being a seething a hole complaining about everything. I'm not even hurt anymore. I just feel nauseated by him at this point. I don't know. Should I have reacted differently? I honestly don't think it matters how she reacted. She could have said, "Oh my gosh, can we try to work it out?" And he would have been disgusted. She could have said, I really prefer chocolate cake." And he would have been seething. There's nothing you could say to a person that is this mad. He's mad at decisions that he made without her and then making it like she did it. He's mad at the crock pot. He's mad at the paint scheme. There's nothing to satisfy this person. He's dissatisfied with his job and he's looking at it like it's her problem. Yeah. This male loneliness crisis is caused by men. Men are doing this to themselves, and some of these people deserve to be alone. This person, Alex, is one of them. All right, so just a few of the comments. Ready Zombie says, "Not the a-hole. Your response was sort of what I would have probably said in the same situation. He pretty much was like, 'I hate everything. You've ruined my life, blah, blah, blah.' What else is there to say other than okay? It's not as if he left the door open to work on your issues. He just ranted at you and said he was done. End of conversation." And then the OP says, "I mean, also in my eyes, he had already emotionally broken up with me for a while." Ooh, this is a good one. Warped Minded says he wanted to break you. When you didn't break because of the crap he has been flinging for months, he became enraged. Because how dare you not be a sobbing, broken mess when he tells you that he basically hates you and you ruined his life? Just keep thriving and being accommodating about the breakup. He will not get any peace from it. Then, when you have everything you need taken care of, block him on everything so he has no outlet for his rage. That is it. BMO B word says, "This is it, OP. He wants you to be hurt and crushed. I'm sure you are at least to a degree, but don't let him know. You owe yourself the peace you are maintaining." And then Flowerina says, "It's infuriating for him to see you standing strong while he tries to tear you down. Your resilience is a direct threat to his narrative. He expected you to crumble, but you've shown him that you're better off without him. Keep living your best life and don't give him the satisfaction of seeing you hurt." Yes, that's what I'm saying. When you're ready, cut off all contact. Let him stew in his own negativity while you embrace your newfound freedom. I also agree with blocking them on everything. I know sometimes you want to, like, I get it. You want to see what they have going on. You want to check their socials, blah, blah, blah. But you need to let it be a clean cut. Sit down with yourself, examine where you zigged, where you could have zagged, what happened, do an autopsy of the situation, let yourself heal. But healing comes by cutting these people off. Just cut them off and then move on. Y'all, I don't know if you found any delight in this, but I did. Relationships end. Relationships end. But you don't have to break because they end. You can shed a few tears, but do not allow them to make you crumble or fall into a puddle of water. Absolutely not. F them people, move on. F them people and move on. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I think this post in the Ask Feminist subreddit is something we can relate to, especially as we have talked about the jokes and the mean pranks and all that we're seeing in this social media discourse. This person asks, "Why are people so comfortable with joking about women's pain?" She says, "Growing up, my father would treat my mother's frustration as if it were something that was merely cute. He actually found joy in her frustration beyond a degree of teasing. He also wouldn't take her pain seriously, and he admitted to being annoyed because she can get anxious more frequently than he. I recently saw a post on Reddit where a woman was wedged between a rock for 7 hours. Almost all of the comments were laughing it off and I found it quite strange, especially because I'd seen equally as horrifying stories with men and there were zero jokes being made, even on an online environment." I believe that the programming, TV series, have socially conditioned people to laugh at women. We're not human enough to be taken seriously. Our pain is not taken seriously. I do not believe that, like, you wouldn't laugh at your friend. A man wouldn't laugh at his friend being stuck in a terrifying situation, like being stuck between a rock or almost falling off a cliff or doing something that scares them so bad, like jumping out of a van trying to act like a fake kidnapping was happening. Like, you don't laugh at things like this to your friend who's a man, but you laugh at it when it's a woman because they don't give a damn about women, because they don't give a damn about women. Why would they care about our feelings? We're the punchline. We're their entertainment. If we're not serving them in some capacity, we're just their entertainment, and that's pretty much it. We women can see things and be horrified because we see women as being human beings who deserve happiness and safety and opportunities. So of course we're going to see a woman being stuck and be horrified at it, like, oh my God, how would I feel? Because we can empathize with another woman. These men can't empathize with us because we're just their entertainment or a servant or something to play with and then discard. You don't have empathy for your servant. So that's my theory. All right, so some other comments. Sewer Beauty says, I know this maybe isn't directly related, but in medicine, women's pain isn't believed and women's health issues aren't seen as a worthy area of research. So maybe that contributes towards the ease with which others are able to laugh at our suffering. If women's pain is underestimated in this way, why would anyone empathize or take it seriously? Kaylina says, my father, well educated, very well respected, wasn't thinking about medical attitudes to pain when I was a little girl, and he laughingly threw a hand sized huntsman in my face and then belted me for dropping the new baby. I grew up continually abused, assaulted, and ridiculed, which prepared me well for the way teachers, doctors, boyfriends, male shopkeepers, estate agents, tradesmen, bosses, and strangers on crowded public transport would try to treat me. A lot of men simply hate women, but hide it enough so they can have a housemaid at home and an ex wherever. A lot of doctors, and not only the male ones, hate women. We should stop gaslighting ourselves into thinking it's a joke or they just don't know any better. And the thing that she just said right here, because of her daddy's abuse, because it was normalized when she was a child, because you look at your parents as somebody who loves you, you kind of normalize abuse because your daddy did it. Daddies are supposed to love you. So you will start to equate abuse with love. That's the reason why getting out of homes when there's dysfunction, chaos, abuse is so important, so that people don't normalize abuse, because she said it prepared her for all these other people that were going to abuse her later. And like she said, we need to stop gaslighting ourselves. Stop with the uncomfortable laughter. We know this isn't funny. We know it's not funny. So stop laughing at it. We need to work on our resting faces. It's not funny. Sewer Beauty says, that's awful. I'm so sorry you had to endure. And then she hones in on, a lot of men simply hate women, but hide it enough so they can have a housemaid at home, an ex wherever, saying, wow, yes, agreed. I made another comment on this post about men enjoying women's pain and even getting off on it. I fully agree that they are aware, but at a minimum don't care, with most liking to inflict pain. Schneitmacher says, the baseline for women's existence is pain. I'm not joking. Menstruation, penetration, pregnancy, childbirth, nursing, children hanging all over you, menopause. Dig deep enough, and I'm convinced most medical dismissal of female pain is at its heart. You're sitting here wasting time complaining to me about your effing existence. I can't do anything about your existence. This is who you are. Deal with it already. This would also explain female medical practitioners who are quick to dismiss or gaslight about female pain. Like my first OBGYN, they had to get over it. Why can't you? Whew. Sewer Beauty says, what's that Fleabag quote? Women are born with pain built in. I think that's it. Whew. I think that that's enough. I think that our baseline is pain, or people think that it is, but we can push back against that. We don't have to sit in pain. And people that don't acknowledge our pain or safety or laugh at our pain or lack of safety, you need to leave those people alone. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I haven't brought y'all anything from the nice guy subreddit in a while. Now, NGVC, for people that don't know, is the nice guy virtue claim. And she gives this quote: I'm 0.0075% of the population, and somebody will recognize my value, I'm sure. And then he gives this smiley face emoji. But let's look at the screenshots. Okay, so let's see what this nice guy says. He's in black. He says, I wish you the best, and hopefully you can find a young black man with no kids, six-pack abs, and is a multimillionaire under 30 years old. I'm 0.00575% of the population, and somebody will recognize my value, I'm sure. Smiley face emoji. She says, unfortunately, that was the perfect way of making sure I never speak to you again. He's like, your choice. Best of luck to you. I liked you, but seems one way. Oh well. She says, despite you showing your butt just now, I'm going to genuinely wish you the best of luck in the short and long term. He says, I still plan on hitting you up after the surgery. If you don't want to hear from me, just say so. Because I still feel this is only because we met too early, and I don't like to let fate control like that. She says, please refrain. You just sealed that fate for me. He says, okay, I'll be deleting your number. No worries. Last text. Bye. Good luck with the walk. He's like, I'm leaving. I'm going. Toodaloo. Goodbye. Good luck with the wall. He really thought that calling himself a multimillionaire with six-pack abs and saying he has no kids is really supposed to be the thing that just makes her run to him. And it didn't work for some strange reason. Him using these red pill talking points, his dead god daddy's talking points, talking about the wall, didn't work. And it's hilarious to me, but these men are causing themselves to be single and lonely. And they're going to continue to be single, lonely, and angry when their talking points don't work. It's like women are becoming immune to these talking points. Stop using these, but they don't listen. Don't worry, ladies. They're not in my videos really listening to this advice. Just wait till you hear the warning signs. Wait till you see the red flags and just do like she did. Please refrain. You just sealed that fate for me. Like, no, thank you. And then walk away. I'm not going to do a lot of the comments, but Katsaka says, God, this guy is really stroking himself right now, as in his ego. I'm sure he is stroking himself. Okay. No, he's going to be stroking himself that way too. Pamela Henderson surely knows his worth. Hardcore Logic says, I hope the wall is real and it keeps out guys like him. It sounds like every woman's fantasy. I know it's mine. And then Simone, the OP, says, mine too. I'd rather be alone forever than be stuck with an insufferable man who thinks like this. Oh, this is a good one. Trey says, as an older man, I can absolutely confirm your hopes are real. I have known about 4 or 5 idiots who refuse to date any woman over 30. They have been single for easily 2 decades, and one is on a ban list at about 8 nightclubs. Bouncers won't even let him in. What the F are you doing to get banned at 8 nightclubs? These people are going to keep themselves single because they really think that they are going to be able to get a young tenderoni, and it's hilarious. And then I wanted to end it with this screenshot. So Intelligent Pop says, he's way more into himself than he is into you or any other girl. It's because you're no longer interested. He's trying because he's used to being in control. So many red flags. He will only have success with a dumb, shallow girl, and even that won't work out in the long run. And then the OP says, yep, he bragged the entire first date about his money, and I literally yawned in his face all night on purpose. He asked if I was tired. I said no, LOL. Only kept seeing him because my mom begged me. And then Intelligent Pop says, that's hilarious, the yawning. Also, I'm sure he has money, but the people who are secure about it don't want everyone knowing. Aside from being crass and annoying, it's a dumb way to get your butt robbed or schmurnered. If my partner were rich, I would not want him advertising it to everyone, especially on a first date. I watch a lot of true crime. That's their issue. Enough people are not trying, enough people are not taking their money. That's the reason why they keep yapping about it. That's their problem. That's their problem. All right, y'all, join the conversation. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.